We're going to cover memory retention in this video and give you 3 blazing fast ways you can increase your ability to retain information, even if this term, memory retention, can't be easily or usefully defined. Hi there, this is Anthony Metivier from magneticmemorymethod.com, where I help mature learners of every age take mental adventures using memory techniques. Our community helps you make learning easy, effective, elegant, and fun. So hit that subscribe button now and make sure to enable notifications with the bell icon. That way you won't miss a thing, especially our live streams where you can meet the valuable members of the Magnetic Memory Method community. And while you're subscribing, or even if you're already subscribed, hit that thumbs up and let's go. So what is memory retention? Overall, it's quite simple to define. It's the ability to keep any information for different periods of time for the purpose of using it in the future. And so if someone gives you their name, but you can't use their name in a conversation, you haven't retained it. Why exactly we retain some things and not others is the subject for another video, but basically we don't really need a definition more robust than this. But you might be wondering about the differences between short-term memory and long-term memory when it comes to memory retention. And all of that can add more confusion to the mix than is necessary. You might even be wondering about how working memory plays into the mix when it comes to learning faster and remembering more. These are all great questions that we'll be covering in the future. So if you're not already subscribed, do so now so you don't miss any of our memory improvement tips and training. But yet another question that people ask very often is, why is memory retention important? And the answer is also simple. And I think this one's worth a bit more investigation. In addition to practical matters like remembering names, passing exams, and learning new languages, memory retention helps you connect with yourself. Think about it. Every time you can't recall information about your own life, it feels kind of weird, if not outright painful. Self-punishment ensues, and usually that only exacerbates the memory problems you might be facing. So with an eye to helping you feel more connected with yourself, let's talk about 3 blazing fast ways you can increase memory retention. 1, take better care of your brain. Before we dive into some memory techniques, it only makes sense to care for the engine that makes memory possible. Many people who complain of brain fog simply aren't eating well. Although diet is a tricky matter, you'll find some links to foods that improve memory resources below that will help you. Diet has been a huge problem for me throughout my life, but I've done a lot to fix it and experienced much better memory as a result. Now in my case, chronic pain has been the most mentally taxing and distracting problem. Pain makes paying attention difficult. When you can't pay attention to information, memory retention goes out the window. Reduce the pain, and your ability to pay attention and retain information in memory automatically goes up. Next, we have sleep. Although you might not normally think of it this way, not having enough sleep also creates pain because it interrupts the ability to pay attention. Being groggy and irritated, for example, is a kind of pain. Plus, the brain simply cannot perform as well unrested as it can when you're getting enough sleep. Just by attending to diet and sleep, you can improve your memory and attention, and it will happen faster than you might think. Follow up on the resources I've shared below and let me know how things improve for you. 2, get regular memory exercise. One of the easiest ways to improve memory retention is to regularly use your memory. There are at least 2 kinds of memory exercise, active and passive. Now for some passive and active brain exercise, I've included a resource for you in the description box. The 4 details exercise is one of my favorites. All you do is notice 4 details about a person. Don't use any memory techniques, just observe. Later in the day, ask yourself to recall those details. It's not a right or wrong memory retention test. It's just a quick jog to make sure that you're giving your memory regular exercise. Active memory exercises for increasing retention might include using memory techniques. For example, you can memorize a deck of cards and work on increasing either your speed of encoding or the volume you can encode. You can increase speed and volume with names, vocabulary, abstract shapes, numbers, and even verbatim text like song lyrics or poems. 3, have a long-term learning project. Learning a language or memorizing large texts that you focus on for the long term will produce incredible short-term benefits when it comes to memory retention. Improvements will happen for you because as you use memory techniques consistently, you'll build up something called memory reserve. Now this term means that the more you know, the more you can know. Take language learning, for example. As soon as you know about 850 words, you have all the building blocks you need to snap on more and more vocabulary and phrases. Each new word and phrase you add builds up your memory reserve. And this memory reserve helps explain why many people find it easier to pick up their next language. They've become good at the skill of building their memory reserve. When it comes to memorizing large texts, I've been doing this with some scriptures written in Sanskrit. The more I memorize, the easier it becomes to memorize more due to this effect of memory reserve. For example, the pool of magnetic imagery grows, and that means less of it has to be fired off with less effort. You'll find this is also true when memorizing texts in your mother tongue. The more you do it, the greater ease with which you can move through words, expressions, ideas, and more. And again, you don't have to wait forever for the memory retention benefits to kick in. Just get started, be consistent, and before you know it, you'll feel like you have a completely revived brain that can conquer the world of information overwhelm with ease. Again, we'll talk in the future more about things like short-term, long-term, and working memory, but the reality is that all these parts work together. By following the 3 simple tips in this video, you'll be working all these parts of your memory comprehensively, holistically, and dare I say, magnetically. And if you're watching this and you're still uncertain of exactly how memory techniques work and how you can apply them to your life, get my free memory improvement kit at magneticmarymethod.com/YT. The link is in the description below, and you'll be able to quickly complete 4 videos and go through 3 compact ebooks with examples, exercises, and a summary of the videos. And if you haven't done it yet, hit that thumbs up, get subscribed, and leave a comment below. Every short sentence and interaction helps me continue helping you because it lets the robots know that humans care about the great memory tradition that we all need to defend. Thanks as ever for the view. Hope to hear from you again soon. And until we get to speak again, keep yourself magnetic.